Hi there everyone, Chris here. I'm going through the Greensand Country 50k route on Google Earth just to get you all familiar with what to expect and what you're doing on race day. So I'll keep it reasonably quick. And yeah, I'm so here in Google Earth and you can see this is the kind of big outline of the route here. Um, the sort of start finish area is here at the Shuttleworth Estate, and we're kind of looping round in an anti-clockwise direction. I always think this route looks a little bit like a horse. So you're sort of following the horse's tail and feet and head over there. So yeah, that's 50k. So let's just go through a few bits and pieces. So first thing to say is in terms of your arriving, the entrance is actually a fair whack away from the start finish. So the main entrance is via this road here. So just follow the Shuttleworth signs on the day. It's all signposted. But there are a few different entrances based on there's an old entrance they used to have which is now closed, and there's an entrance for the airfield and things like that. So just follow any signage that says main Shuttleworth traffic, or there's a few signs that say all Shuttleworth visitors this way, and you're entering just here and you drive up this track. I think it's about a kilometre all the way up this track. And if I zoom in here, we've got this whole field. And actually, what's quite funny is this satellite photograph was actually taken during last year's Greensand Country event. So this is actually some of the cars left over. I think this is sort of late afternoon of the event. This is some of the cars that are parked for the event, and as you can kind of see, there's a little finish line still up and things like that. So this field is absolutely huge. We're actually parking you on this lower side of the field this year, and the event kind of village is going to be in this section here. The blue line represents the start and the route that you're going to follow. Initially, at the start, we actually take you around the perimeter of these two fields, so you get a little bit of a run around of the estate itself. These are some nice, easy, flat fields to run around, and then once you've done that little loop, you head out via this lovely forest into the village of Old Warden just here. Out into Old Warden, you're going up onto the footpaths, and this section's all very straightforward. There's a few rights, there's a few lefts, but this will all be nicely signposted, and we'll have a few marshals out on these sections as you're kind of going to be bunched up a little bit more at the start. Around these footpaths, and then we have a kind of an out loop here, if you like. So this is a wood end farm just here. So we're going to have a marshal situated there, because obviously if you accidentally run straight on there, I think you probably knock about 5k off the route. So you've got a route up here. You kind of descend down some fields in this bit, and then when you turn around and you do descend back up. So be warned, there is a little bit of undulation. I think this route in general is sort of seen as a reasonably flat race, but that doesn't mean that it will feel completely flat at times, and do expect a couple of hills here or there. So yeah, you've got a bit of a down and a bit of an up. Once you've done that loop, things are pretty straightforward. So you turn right after this loop, cross over a very small road, and then you're through these kind of Warden woods. So this is I think the smaller wood and then the great wood here. And this path is actually very flat, if anything, very slightly downhill, and very, very straight and wide. So you can get a nice bit of rhythm in your legs there. Get to this road. This is a bit of a busy road. This is called Dead Man's Cross, so the name probably suggests that you've got to be a little bit careful here. Should be a marshal there, just warning you. Getting yourself over there. And this is the run into the first checkpoint, which is in the village of Haynes. Just to say, if I zoom in, we actually enter this village hall from the back. So you go around here through the car park, and the village hall is here. So there will be toilets available at this village hall, and all the refreshments that you'd expect. And a reminder that at all of our checkpoints, you will be scanning your wristband to record a checkpoint time. So the first thing you will be asked to do when you get there is just present your wristband, and one of the marshals will scan it for you. So this is 15.1 kilometres into the race, out the village hall and through the village of Haynes, along a bit of pavement, left and then right, and then you get a little downhill when you're back on the footpaths here. This is a nice descent. It looks kind of, on satellite view, it actually looks like it's kind of just through some kind of quite basic fields, but actually the views you get from some of these trails are amazing. And I think what you see on Google Earth doesn't really do it justice, in my opinion. So you come out here. Now, just a couple of sections during the race, you are going to be running along some roads. The roads in general are pretty quiet, but unfortunately they don't all have pavement. So this little stretch, when you get off the road from here to here, there aren't any pavements, but there are kind of verges that allow you to not be directly on the road. But these places obviously are slightly higher risk of an accident. So as you are on these sections, when you're on sort of more open roads, just please, if you're wearing headphones, take them out. Run against the traffic where it makes sense, unless you're on a blind turn. But we will have marshals out, so there will be a marshal in this section just helping you get through and crossing this road just here. But just be sensible. It's not long at all, and then you're back onto the footpaths. And if I kind of zoom out, you can see you've got kind of a nice sweeping loop down here. There's nothing really to say on these footpaths. They're all very nice and all very dry. I mean, some of these, like through this field, it gets very sticky. The mud gets very sticky in the winter, but this time of the year, they're going to be very fast and very easy running. You get into Clop Hill, so you're sort of going around here. You do get a little bit of an uphill here. So this is the old St Mary Clop Hill Church that's got all sorts of funny stories about it. All sorts of things happen up there in the dark of night. Google that if you're interested in hearing what people get up to. It's very strange. You go up a hill here, past that, and then maybe a little bit of a downhill, but again not too much undulation, but you might find there's a little bit of an up, a little bit of a down every now and again. Then we're sweeping through this forest to get to a place here called Aptly Corner. Aptly Corner, you get a little bit, there's always a few dog walkers and things parking their cars here. You're turning right, and again you've got a lovely kind of easy section where you can just sort of forget about navigation for a while and just flow into it. Very wide paths, a little bit of an incline to here, and then you descend back, just following this main path. You do go through a little bit of a farming area here, but nothing to worry about. And you just flow through this area all the way really until you get to this roundabout. And this is kind of quite a main roundabout into Shefford, or just by Shefford. So you have to be quite careful here, running along the pavement. And then a word of warning here, this is quite a fast road, and we do have marshals here stationed at all times, but because you are kind of crossing over the road and turning left, what we noticed last year is as runners are running up here and seeing other runners crossing the road, runners were sort of, in this area, getting ahead of themselves and deciding to cross at different places. And in some occasions, actually, probably some of these crosses were quite dangerous because they didn't quite realise how fast the traffic was going. So I'd really ask you to just keep on the pavement until you get to our marshals, and they will safely get you across, and they might ask you to stop for a second, but don't just cross because you see other people crossing. Please wait until you get to the sort of designated crossing point. Now we've got another loop, another kind of U-shape. This, I think, is the worst hill of the race, and I wouldn't say it's a particularly bad hill. I was saying the other day that if you were probably, out on, let's say, a 10-mile run, you would easily just run up this, no problem whatsoever. You wouldn't really think it was too bad, but maybe as part of a 50k, this will be a walk for some people. And then as you get to the top, you do get the descent back. So if you take it easy up here, then you get the pace back down there. Then we get back into the the town of Shefford. So you come down and past this little roundabout, and the checkpoint is in this car park. For any spectators that are coming along, nice easy place to get to, but do be wary that this is a car park you have to pay for. So if you are stopping in there, you do need to put £1 in the machine. Make sure you don't get fined. This checkpoint does not have a toilet situated on it, so this is a food and refreshment stop only. There's no shelter here. If you are desperate at this point, there is a public toilet located in this building just here. But I say we do have toilets at the previous checkpoint and the next checkpoint in another 10 kilometers time. So just be aware of that, that you might, if you need to go around this time, then it could be a case of it's about an extra 200 meters up to this toilet and back. And if you are a runner that's not using the toilet, you see someone running up here, just be aware that you shouldn't follow them, because you'll be just following them to the toilet. The actual route turns off and follows this river Flitz that turns into the River Ivel a little bit further up. So once you get past this, you've got a lovely flat section because you're just following these kind of rivers here. There you go, you've got the River Ivel just there. Nice, easy, flowing past. Some really nice little paths actually here. Quite enjoyed this section when I did it myself. Just following the footpath, and then out here we turn onto another road section, and again there's no pavement on this section, and we'll have a marshal at the start and a marshal at the end, and it went, we did this last year and it was absolutely fine, no risk whatsoever. But just do be aware that on this section you're going to be running on the right, on the verge. We actually will probably go and strim that ourselves and just make sure it's nice and easy to run on before the race. And then a marshal will be at this left turn here, sending you up to this area, which leads you to our third checkpoint in Broome. So again, nice and easy. You don't really need to worry about too much here. The paths are nice and wide, nice and scenic, nice and flat. Taking a left at the end, crossing over the river. And then here it's quite strange actually. They're kind of building a quarry here. There used to be a public footpath that you can kind of see just here, which was closed, which is now basically a massive deep quarry. And it's kind of helped us out because it's given us a nice little bit of extra distance, which helps us get the 50k loop. So this is now a kind of a perimeter around here. Lovely new path they've created. You're going up the field here, and then you're crossing over this little quarry road. The quarry doesn't operate on a Sunday, so there's no big heavy lorries going around. And then you're getting up into Broome. One thing to say here is as you're going down this path, there's a very kind of tight right to just peel off here. Otherwise, you're going down into this farm. I don't think you would make that mistake, but the footpath is quite a small turn there. You'd notice very quickly you're going the wrong way if you got to about here. There's a very small right down this footpath, and then you enter the village of Broome, where we have our checkpoint at the village hall, which that pin is actually slightly wrong. Village hall is I think it's this building here. So you're going in here, we'll have probably have a marshal just pointing you this way, and we'll have a flag maybe there. And yeah, here we've got toilets and all of the refreshments again. So that's your 39k points. We used to have the checkpoint last year at this pub. So this is, I think it's called The Cock actually. It's quite a famous pub. It's one of these pubs that doesn't have a proper bar. It's just got a man standing in the middle who serves the beer. So don't finish your race there. You've still got 10 kilometers to go. But yeah, you're turning left up there, out onto this footpath. This is a really nice section. You go past some lakes, and yeah, not much to say again here, but yeah, you kind of got some lakes on the left, following these footpaths. Got another lake here. And as you get to this bit, you cross over this road. Just be a little bit careful because it's quite a narrow sort of path leading out onto that. And you get down here. I think this is my favourite view of the day. There's a lovely viewing point here onto this lake. You're carrying down this footpath, and then out towards Jordan's Mill, where they make the cereal. If you're a big fan of Jordan's Mill, that's where they make it. And then here you're really, in my opinion, you're kind of on the home straight, in the sense that the paths are pretty simple here. So you're on a nice kind of easy gravel path going up this River Ivel again. Keep following it. Follow it round. You've got Biggleswade here on your right. Nice easy footpaths. Go past this lake again. And then you kind of enter in Shuttleworth at about this point. So this road is very fast. So be careful here, but you're just going straight across. And then if I zoom kind of all the way back out, you'll see that you're now on your way back into Shuttleworth. But do not be fooled by the noise and the music that you might hear as you follow down here, because this is an airstrip. You can't run through here. It's an active airstrip, so there'll be gates closed, and certainly don't attempt to do that. You'll get in lots of trouble. But you may sort of see the finish line if you've got good eyesight. But we're peeling down here, and actually just here, for those of you that are going to finish the race in ridiculous 4 hours or something like that, and are going to be leaving while other runners are still out there, as you leave, you go out via this, and you might see some runners. So just be a bit careful if you're leaving before sort of 4:30, 5:30. Might be some runners on their last stint, so give them a wave and a smile, and then out onto here, turning right, and then you're going into, so just here, you kind of say you're on a little country track and you're going back into this forest, and you do get a little uphill. This is your last hill of the day, and I mean that. There's no more hills after this. Once you get up to the top of here, you're turning right, and you're doing this kind of kilometre or so to the finish line, and you kind of do descend back down. So once you turn right here and you're kind of going down this bit, you know that it's just a bit of fun, last bit of running for the day. You don't do this little loop at the end, so this is just for the start. So on the way home, you're just flowing back down there. You'll be able to see the finish line down the hill, get a really nice view of Shuttleworth House there. You can't really see it here on Google Earth, but you get a really nice view of that. Straight down there. Obviously, don't go straight through the tennis courts. The route actually goes like this, just here. But the import into Google Earth just sometimes adjusts the GPS. And the finish line is there. And there'll be a nice setup here. So we've got the guys from Drink Biggleswade are coming with their mobile kegs and some fresh chilled beer waiting for you, and we've also got we've got our coffee vendor there all day, and also someone who's doing some crepes, waffles, milkshakes, things like that. So if it's a sunny day, relax, look at the planes taking off and landing, and just celebrate what you've done and all the others coming in. So that is the Greensand Country 50k course. There we go. So guys, I look forward to seeing you Sunday the 29th of May, 9 o'clock race start. All the details for race information are found on the website, so just head to runneradventures.com, follow the links to the Greensand Country race page, and everything will be there for you. So we'll see you very soon.